In this video, we're going to learn how to create a connection designation export. It's useful for getting all the wire numbers out of the project and importing them into Excel or whatever application you need to print them out. So as you can see here, we got some connection designations along with colors and numbers and everything else like that. So to begin, you can do an export just off a mounting location, higher level function, or the whole project. In this case, we're just going to export just this one mounting location. In this case, our CP1 panel. To begin, we're going to come under Utilities, Manufacturing Data, Export, Labeling. This pops up our export settings. What we want to do is use our lookup button to select the proper settings. And from here, what we want to do is go ahead and create a new scheme for exporting the connection designations. So we're going to click our new button here. This will pop up our report type. And what we want to come up to is our connection list. Select that, click OK. We'll go ahead and give this a meaningful name. And go ahead and add a description in. From here, we have different file settings that we can do. And you can change the file type from Excel, text, or XML. We're going to go ahead and choose a text file. You go ahead and enter in a default target file name if you like, but what we're going to do is leave this one blank so we can designate the path location, file location during export instead of having the default one pop in. At this point in time, we're not going to leave we're not going to put in any headers. We're just going to leave that blank. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we just want to export just a little bit of information here. So the first thing we're going to do is select our connection and then use our right button to put it as a column. And what we want to do is actually come in here and select the connection designation. This will get us our wire number that we want to export. I'm going to click OK. We'll go ahead and add a few more pieces of information. So the next thing we have to do is come in and add a separator between our connection and our next column. So let's highlight separator and then use the right button right arrow button to add that in. Here we can choose the type of separator that we want. A lot of times we can use a comma or a semicolon, but in this case we're just going to do a tab delimited file instead. So we're going to select tab and click OK. And now we've added our separator in. The next thing we want to do is come in under the connection and we're going to add in the connection color. So we come in here and add or select the connection color / number, highlight it and click OK, and it's now added our connection. We want to add one more column, so as before, we're going to add a separator in. Keep it as the tab just to keep consistent. Click OK. And then the last thing we want to do is we can add in our wire size. So we'll come in here and do our connection cross-section diameter, and we click OK. And now we've added everything in. If we decide we want to change order things, we can highlight whatever we need to use and use these up and down arrow buttons to change the order out. We can also, into the report, add a footer, but we're going to leave that blank at this point in time. And you can also change any settings that you want, but we're going to leave the default for the time being. Once we're happy with all the settings, just click OK. And now we're back to our export dialog box. As you can see, it's already selected the connection scheme that we just created. And here what we want to do is we want to enter our export file name. So we'll use the lookup button. We've made a folder under our C drive under EPlan and then just exports. Now you can use an existing file name, or we can create a brand new one. If you use an existing one, it's going to prompt you to overwrite the existing file or not. But here we'll just do a new file. And now at this point, you have an option of doing an export or an export and start application. I prefer to do the export and start application so we can see that the data is actually pushed out the way that we want to it. And we click OK. And as you can see, we now have all of our connection designations with wire number, color, and wire size as it was entered into the drawings. And that's all we need for this report. Thank you very much.